guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be talking about bullet journaling, but for your mental health. So I am definitely more on the minimalist side when it comes to bullet journaling. My mood tracker is as colorful and artistic as it's ever going to get with my bullet journaling, I think. But that's just me. Everyone is different. Bullet journaling is such a personal process. Especially mental health. So yeah, we're going to be looking at some weekly spreads and some monthly, and actually I have more. And I guess we'll also take a look at how my bullet journaling for mental health has kind of evolved. Let's get into it. So we're going to start off with a mood tracker, and I think a mood tracker is pretty much a staple for any, not just mental health journaling, but bullet journal in general. But if you're totally new to this concept, basically it's a monthly spread and it's color coded. So, and obviously this is completely personal to your moods and your color preferences. But here we have depressed, which is blue, anxious, which is red, positive, happy, which is yellow, meh, which is green, and sensitive, which is orange. And so this theme, believe it or not, is a PlayStation theme. You can kind of plan what doodle themes you're gonna do. So January is PlayStation theme. February we have planets. My exes, this is terrible. And so, you know, life is life, and you're never gonna just feel one mood all the way through the day. So some are two moods, and it's just a really good way to track how you're feeling over time, and you can kind of see at a glance what was the overarching mood. It's just another way to collect data and see how your, recovery from depression or anxiety is going, and maybe over time you can also start to spot patterns. So here, this is a weekly spread. This is one that I came up with. I don't know if anyone else does it. Here we have a weekly habit tracker, and it is very just about. So this one is obviously going to be very personal to you. For me, the things daily that I have to do for my mental health is exposure therapy. That is for recovering from agoraphobia. So exposure therapy just means I have to go outside every day and push myself a little bit further and feel anxiety. Working out, meditation, and drinking 2 liters of water. And then this is a weekly mood tracker. So this is actually just a blank template that I made just for this video because I feel like it's a bit personal otherwise, but this is how it would work. Start with Monday. So this would be Monday, and let's say you're feeling happy. This desk is terrible. The whole desk is shaking. So that's how that would work. And here we have post-therapy notes. So this is just for reflections and how you're feeling after therapy. And here we have little moments and highlights. I used to do this one monthly, and then I decided to actually switch to weekly because honestly, with mental health, with depression, etc., the more you can build gratitude and appreciation into your daily, weekly life, the better. So now I've made it weekly, and sometimes I really have to stretch myself to come up with little moments and highlights that I want to put here. But it's honestly really beneficial to my mental health, and I love looking back on them as well. Okay, so next, I love this one. This is congrats today you. And so how it works is for every day you just put down something that you accomplished. It can be small, it can be big. For instance, got through a panic attack. That's a huge accomplishment. Decluttered drawers, helped a friend, did self-care activities when I was sad. Anytime you use coping skills or things that you've learned from therapy. So this is one I highly recommend because we are just so down on ourselves, us depressed folk, I think every folk actually. So instead of just berating ourselves all day, it's good to, pick out something that we're proud of ourselves for. And no one else has to be proud of you for it. You just have to be proud of yourself. That's all that matters. So here we have a self-care list. This isn't a checklist or anything. It's just a list to refer to. Obviously, again, this is going to be very personal to you. Maybe you don't like watching 90s rom-coms or dancing. But yeah, because sometimes when you're in a crisis mode or you're overwhelmed, it's hard to remember what you actually like to do to care for yourself. And having this list just takes away that resistance and that barrier, and you can just, pick something off a list to do for yourself. Here we have bad day checklist. Again, all these are going to be very personal to you, but this is when you're having a really tough day. It's like 4 p.m. You haven't done anything because you're just so anxious, depressed, overwhelmed. You get out this checklist and you try and you work your way through the whole checklist. Get dressed in a favorite outfit. People talk a lot of smack about getting dressed when you're feeling depressed, saying it's such a basic, simplistic thing to say and it doesn't help. But I've tested it out, guys. And again, of course, it's every individual is different. But for me, it definitely makes a difference. And if you're, and I had to be real honest with myself, because I was like, that won't matter. Putting on jeans doesn't matter if I'm in sweatpants or if I'm in a really nice outfit that I enjoy. But turns out it does make a difference, and every little difference, every little improvement helps so much. So this is an example of a habit tracker that I have done before. This was actually a pretty good week. Started off kind of strong on Monday and Tuesday, and we got kind of lost in the middle towards the end. But as you can see, I did my exposure 5 days out of 7, and that exposure for me is the most important thing. And this was reading. Yeah. Reading a mental health book. I will also just, if I'm reading a book, I'll put down quotes kind of anywhere next to a to-do list. Yeah, maybe a lot of people are like cringing at how chaotic my bullet journaling is. But yeah, I will just note down, for instance, this really struck a chord with me, and it's from You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Cluttered closets mean a cluttered mind. As you clean the closet, say to yourself, I am cleaning out the closets of my mind. The universe loves symbolic gestures. Not long after this, I decluttered my junk cupboard, and it felt good. I also like to include pictures, printed out pictures. I use this little thermal printer and I absolutely love it. I kind of like the very retro, simplistic, lo-fi look that it gives. Again, this is for my agoraphobia recovery. I like to... Okay, loop of death. I'm gonna have to... I'll explain that another day. But I like to print out little maps just to track my progress, and also just pictures that I took while I was out in exposure, just to map like how far I've been if I get to a new point or whatever. And then nice little moments, or just favorite pictures from the week. Sometimes it'll just be monthly. This is an old entry from my first journal, actually, which was only 2 years ago. And, so I also use my journal just to work out strategizing and planning. This is when I was first... Oh, look at the sun. That's nice. That's nice lighting. This is when I was first beginning my agoraphobia recovery journey, and I really wanted to be a very self-directed recovery, so I just did a little bit of freehand journaling about the process that I was about to undertake. I used to be a lot more scattered, but I'm still pretty scattered with my journaling. This was when I was feeling really bad about my recovery and I wasn't making any progress, so I just quickly jotted down, journaled about all the progress that I had made. And yeah, I just took some time to actually reflect on my progress and congratulate myself and be compassionate to myself. And if I'm having a very anxious day into my to-do list that day. I'll include 10 deep breathing sessions to mark off. I've actually never done 10, but 5 is usually enough to bring down my anxiety by a considerable amount. Well, this day I only got 3 sessions in. That's okay. So guys, that's all for today. I hope you can implement some of these spreads into your own bullet journal practice. Once again, can we just appreciate that golden hour light